Hi everyone, let's dive into a question that's been on the minds of many. What happens when you stop texting her? What is she really thinking? To get us started, let's consider a real-life situation. Picture a guy named Jake. He's been texting Lily, a woman he's interested in. At first things were flowing, but then Lily started pulling back. Fewer replies, more delays, and the spark seemed to dim. Sound familiar? Jake is now wondering, should he keep texting her or should he stop? Today, we'll explore what goes through a woman's mind when the texting stops. You'll not only learn why stepping back can shift the dynamic, but also how this decision can sometimes be a turning point in how she views you. Stick with me, because each point will connect to the next, painting a bigger picture of how attraction and psychology intertwine. Number 1. Women and the need for attention. Women, like everyone else, thrive on attention. The way women respond to attention is often linked to their social environment. Some women, especially those who are used to getting attention from others, have grown accustomed to the constant flow of messages, compliments, and recognition. When you're texting her regularly, she may see you as just another source of attention in her busy life. However, if you suddenly stop, this creates a noticeable void. It's like a song that abruptly cuts off in the middle, leaving her confused and wondering what went wrong. She might ask herself, has he lost interest? Is he texting someone else now? This shift can spark a mix of curiosity, frustration, and even insecurity, which might reignite her attraction to you if she values your attention. The point here is that by pulling away, you're creating space for her to reflect on what's missing. Number 2. Why you should stop texting her. So why should you stop texting her in the first place? Here's the thing, if you've already made it clear how you feel about her, whether you've told her directly or she's picked up on your interest and she hasn't reciprocated that energy, continuing to text her is like trying to hold water in your hands. No matter how hard you try, it just slips away. By continuing to chase her, you're giving her all the power and control over the situation. But when you stop texting her, you're taking back control and shifting the dynamic. It's like chasing after a butterfly. The more you run after it, the more it flutters away. But when you stop and remain still, it might just land on your shoulder. This pause is not just for her to notice, but also for you to reassess the situation, rediscover your confidence, and focus on people who appreciate your time and effort. Number 3. Women who thrive on attention. Now let's dive into the mindset of a woman who thrives on attention. Some women, especially those who have grown accustomed to being the center of attention, might not even be fully interested in a relationship. They enjoy the chase, the validation, and the way others admire them. For these women, your attention becomes like applause in a performance. They expect it. So, when you stop texting her, it's like the applause stops in the middle of her show. At first she might feel confused and wonder why you've stopped. Did I do something wrong? Does he not like me anymore? That confusion can turn into curiosity, and if she was even a little bit interested, this break in communication could reignite her attraction. Think about social media for a moment. People often obsess over likes, comments, and validation. When you stop texting her, it's like she posted something and got no attention, forcing her to question herself and her worth, which can, in turn, spark her interest in you again. Number 4. Women who don't want attention. On the other hand, not all women want attention, and some women actually dislike it. For certain women, especially those who are not interested in you, receiving constant messages can feel intrusive and annoying. If she's already given you signals like ghosting, putting you in the friend zone, or outright rejecting your advances, then pulling away from her will likely bring relief. It's like a salesperson who keeps trying to sell you something you've already said you don't want. It becomes bothersome. When you stop texting her, she's likely to feel a sense of freedom. She's no longer being pressured, and if she was ever slightly interested, she might even appreciate that you respected her space. Plus, if she ever changes her mind later, she'll remember how you gracefully walked away without causing any drama or tension. Number 5. Breaking the fantasy trap. When you're deeply interested in someone, it's easy to get caught up in fantasy. You start imagining all the future possibilities, romantic dates, late night conversations, and a potential future together. The danger here is that the more you fantasize, the more you attach yourself to an idea of who she is, rather than who she truly is. You're not just attracted to her, you're attached to an idealized version of her that exists in your mind. This attachment can make it harder to walk away when you're not getting the same level of investment from her. The key is to ground yourself in reality. Ask yourself, is she showing the same level of interest? Is she taking any action that reflects the same investment you're putting in? If not, it's time to refocus that energy back on yourself and your own growth, instead of fantasizing about a relationship that may not be reciprocated. Number 6, balancing emotion and logic. One of the most important rules in dating is to balance your emotions with logic. It's easy to let your emotions take over, especially when you're feeling strongly about someone. But when you're too emotionally invested, you risk over-pursuing, which can make you appear needy. And let's face it, neediness is a huge attraction killer. Instead, match her level of interest. If she's texting you once a day, don't overwhelm her with multiple messages. If she's showing interest, mirror that energy without overdoing it. Think of dating like a tennis match. You want to keep the rally going. If one player keeps serving the ball and not getting a return, it stops being a game and becomes more like a one-sided workout. The goal is to keep the energy balanced and the conversation flowing smoothly, so neither of you feels pressured. Number 7, the long game of relationships. Now, what if you're already in a relationship? Well, the same principles still apply. Relationships require maintenance, even when you're comfortable and familiar with each other. Over time, the initial spark can fade if you don't continue to put in the effort. That doesn't mean you have to make grand gestures every day, but it does mean you need to continue to date each other, communicate effectively, and show affection. Relationships are like cars. They need fuel, regular checkups, and maintenance to run smoothly. If you neglect them, they'll eventually break down. So, just like any valuable asset, invest in keeping the spark alive and ensure that both of you are still actively contributing to the relationship. So, now that you have a deeper understanding of what happens when you stop texting her, remember, the key is knowing when to take a step back and how to value yourself in the process. It's all about understanding the balance between showing interest and maintaining your own sense of worth. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need this advice, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. I want to know, have you ever stopped texting someone and how did it play out for you? Let's start a conversation. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on future tips and insights to help you navigate relationships and improve your dating game. Remember, this journey is all about mutual respect, and the right person will appreciate the effort you put in. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay focused on what truly matters, invest your time wisely, and make sure you're surrounded by those who value you as much as you value yourself.